9 months. They had been in this strange world for 9 months now. It was fascinating to know that 80% of the world's population had abilities called quirks. They had talked about what to register their quirks as to better integrate themselves to this new society, but had decided not to bother in the end. As a great man once said, how troublesome. They had been thinking to stay away from any kind of spotlight considering this world was filled with heroes and it was illegal to act without a license. Although, that didn't exactly apply to them, but it was how you were considered a good citizen. Naruto hated this, naturally, but Sasuke couldn't care less. I'm bored. Naruto groaned from his place on the couch. Go out for a jog. Is there nothing else we can do?
Go out for a jog. Sasuke said again. We could go to UA.
Sasuke sighed, we've already talked about this. There are already plenty of people out there who do hero work. There's not a lot of crime and therefore no need for the two of us. But I want some action, and Kurama does too. He hasn't woken up in 8 months. Are you dumb? This world already has All Might, and if we were to become heroes then you'd get bored again in 2 months once we go pro because there'll be no more crime with us around. Naruto visibly deflated, I didn't think of that.
Of course you didn't. Sasuke told his eyes as he sat next to him and turned on the TV.
After a moment of silence Naruto spoke up, well, the two of us don't have to be heroes. Sasuke turned to him, intrigue visible on his face. You're suggesting one of us becomes a villain? Why not? You've already got experience. Naruto laughed. Sasuke scowled. I got a better idea. Oh, what is it? Sasuke poked Naruto's chest. How about you become the villain and I the hero? Naruto blinked before he burst out laughing. Bawahahaha. Are you serious? Oh man, Sasuke. That was hilarious. I'm not joking. Oh, how about a bet? Sasuke offered. I'm listening. Why don't we find out who'll do better? Will you be the better villain or will I be the better hero? Naruto smirked. All right. It's on. Now we just need to figure out what our quirks will be. Well, since I'm going to be the villain it'd probably be better not to have a registered quirk. That's true. Anyway, I'll use my Sharingan and Rinnegan as my quirk. What about you? That's a surprise. Anyway, you got a month before having to enroll into UA and I've got a month to make myself known as a villain.
Make sure All Might doesn't catch you. Ha. That old man. In his dreams. Naruto smirked cockily. Anyway, I think I'll start small. I'll rob a couple of banks or something. I also need a costume.
Sasuke smirked. You're already getting into this. Haha. You bet. Naruto looked at Sasuke's stump. Nope, that won't do. I'm giving you an arm back. Whatever. Get it over with. Sasuke said as he showed his stump. By the way, good luck with all those younger kids. Don't remind me. Sasuke rolled his eyes as he flexed his new arm. Anyway, I'm off to register. See you later. Bye. Naruto waved enthusiastically as Sasuke left. Guess I'll go get a mask from the black market. I can't wait to tell Kurama. I bet he'll be excited. How boring, it's way too easy to pickpocket people that aren't heroes. Naruto yawned as he walked around aimlessly early in the morning. I've gotten 5 wallets in 2 minutes. It's been a month since you made the bet with the Uchiha brat. Maybe you should do something on a grander scale? Being a pickpocket isn't exactly going to get your name out there, Kurama suggested. I don't know. Sasuke is going to take the entrance exam today. Would it be fair for me to get such a head start on him? Kurama scoffed. Are you forgetting you're supposed to be a villain? You're not supposed to care if you have an upper hand. Good point. All right, what should I do next then? Do you not have the ability to think for yourself? You're so mean. Eat this, the hell's that sound? Naruto decided to go check it out since he had nothing better to do. He looked around and nodded to himself. Looks like the kid was finally able to move everything out of the beach. Good for him. He gained some muscle too. Wonder how long it took him to do this. Who cares? I'm more curious as to why that strange man is forcing the kid to eat a strand of his hair. Naruto looked to the right to see the green-haired boy hunched over looking like he was about to puke. I guess that is strange. Probably not as bad as having a toad forced down your throat. But wahahaha. That was funny, indeed. By the way, isn't that man actually All Might? Oh, it is. What are you thinking? Nothing much. Might just follow him. Maybe steal his wallet. I'll have to wait for that kid to leave though. I really did not expect All Might to look, well, like that. He had been really surprised when the big and muscular man suddenly shrunk into a literal walking stick. And why the hell does his face look like some sort of triangle? That's quite a strange transformation. Do you reckon that's his real body? Could be. No one knows his quirk, so that may be it. You ready to say hi? You bet. Naruto grinned as he donned his mask and stepped in the man's path. It had taken him a while to think of a design for it, but he had finally decided to make it so it would cover the lower half of his face. A huge grin would be plastered on it, along with 3 whiskers on his cheeks. Since he decided to name himself Kurama, he might as well copy the fox's grin when he tried to intimidate him in the past. He still hadn't come up with a costume to go with the mask, so he covered himself in a black cloak for the moment. All Might, Small Might, Skinny Might? Stopped in his tracks and tentatively asked, "Can I help you?" Naruto shrugged. "If you give me your wallet, then yes you can." "So, you're a villain. What gave it away? Me blocking your path and asking for your wallet or the mask and cloak?" Toshinori had to admit that the costume was good. It made the young man look like he had a constant grin on his face. And the red slitted eyes certainly didn't make him any less more intimidating. "Is this what you've decided to owe with your life? Be a petty criminal?" Naruto shrugged. "You gotta start somewhere, don't you? I'm sure this isn't what you want, young man."
Really? What are you going to do about it? Toshinori frowned. Should I really transform here? Maybe I can convince him to stop. He doesn't look like a bad kid.
"Well, I'm waiting." Naruto gestured. "Perhaps I can convince you not to do this." I don't think so. I came here for a reason, you know? Something much bigger than stealing your wallet." He gestured with his hands in a dramatic manner. "And that is?" Naruto looked him over. "Man, with the way you look like this, it's no wonder no one can figure it out." "What are you talking about?" Toshinori tensed. "I honestly never would have guessed had I not seen it for myself. All Might."
Toshinori's eyes widened in alarm before he quickly bulked up and rushed the masked man.
In response, he simply held up his right arm to meet his punch. "I didn't think you were actually gonna blow my arm off. Oh gosh, are you all right? I was merely going to knock you out, but then you put your arm up, so I added more force." "Calm down, it's all good." Naruto sighed as he walked over to his arm. "I can put it back on, it's no problem." "Is that your quirk, perhaps?" All Might looked astounded at the gray and gooey arm.
Ha ha ha. No. Can you imagine how useless that would be in a fight? So you're okay? All Might asked again as he saw the arm sizzle as it was put back into place.
"All good." Naruto nodded. "That's good." All Might looked down at the young man and coughed as he reached to grab him. "I have to arrest you now." "I'd rather not go to jail yet. Not when I haven't even done anything," Naruto said from behind All Might, startling him. "If you're worried about your secret, don't have to worry. I won't tell anyone." He looked at the wallet on his hand. "Toshinori Yagi. When did you get that? Anyway, I'll see you some other time. When I actually commit a crime." Naruto said offhandedly as he tossed the hero his wallet. "I wish good luck to that kid you've been training as well." And with that he walked away. What a strange young man. Toshinori frowned. I can only hope he really won't say a thing. And that he doesn't do anything against young Midoriya. So this is the best hero school in all of Japan. I'm not impressed. Sasuke thought with a frown and looked around at all the kids walking excitedly. So dumb having to be with a bunch of stupid brats. "Out of my way," he heard someone say as they bumped into him. "Fucking emo loser. What the fuck are you looking at, Deku?" Sorry." The kid squeaked and made sure not to be in the path of the walking bomb. "I just hope I don't end up being in the same class as those two. At least spare me that." He sighed and continued walking before he spotted a bunch of purple's balls hiding in the bushes. The hell? Maybe I should have become the villain instead. So, how was it? Did you have fun? Naruto excitedly asked as Sasuke entered their apartment. No, I didn't. Why not? Why would I? Why wouldn't you? You got into the best hero academy in Japan. We don't know that yet, Sasuke. Obviously you got in. Anyway, what did you even do? See anything interesting? Some midget was looking at girls while hiding in the bushes. Kinda creepy, Naruto muttered. I honestly didn't pay much attention to anyone else. Although, some kid punched a giant robot so hard that he broke his arm and legs. That was something, I guess. He was pretty fanboyish, and I didn't expect that from him. But he punched it. How did his legs even break? He jumped. Really high, Sasuke added. Ah, okay. Sasuke sat down and turned on the TV. Anyway, what about you? Oh, I found something really interesting. Do tell, Sasuke said in disinterest. All Might's actual body is akin to a stick, and his face has a weird shape, kinda like a triangle. Interesting, Sasuke muttered. You don't sound interested, Naruto frowned. Well, you're the villain, so that's something that should interest you more than me. But he's the #1 hero. So what? When I graduate, it won't take me long to take his place. Obviously, you'll get into the top 10. But your personality isn't gonna allow you to surpass All Might. Sasuke turned around. What's that supposed to mean? You know what it means. You'd be like Endeavor, a good hero but also a dick. Well, then maybe you should have been the hero, Sasuke rolled his eyes. Obviously, I would have made the better hero, but I'm trying to prove that I'd also be the better villain, Naruto said smugly. Good luck with that. Your personality isn't gonna allow you to become the #1 villain. Naruto blinked. Did you just use what I said to you against me? Yeah, why? How very unoriginal. It was good and you know it. You just can't come up with anything better because your brain is the size of a peanut. Naruto held his chest in mock pain and sniffled. Damn, I'ma go rob some more people, see ya. A few days later, yo, Sasuke. You got a letter from UA. Are you not going to open it? Naruto sat down next to him. Not right now, I'll do it later. Sasuke waved him off.
Are you sure? It doesn't feel like it's a letter.
I'll do it later, Sasuke repeated. Suit yourself. Naruto shrugged, it's probably nothing. Are you excited? Naruto whispered. No, not particularly. I guess it would suck having to go back to school. Why are you even here? Sasuke scowled. I'm curious. I want to see what this school is like. Why turn into my tie? Best vantage point, obviously. Naruto rolled his eyes even though they couldn't be seen. Anyway, which class are you in? 1A. There are only 2 hero classes. Really? You'd think they'd make more. Stop talking. We're here. Sasuke shushed him. Of course you did. Your punch was amazing. Could you two move out of the way? You're blocking my path. Sasuke looked at the 2 kids in annoyance. Sorry about that. I'm Ochako Uraraka. She introduced herself despite Sasuke's tone. Sasuke looked at her as if contemplating whether or not to introduce himself. Don't be a douche, Sasuke, Naruto told him. He sighed, Sasuke Uchiha. Ochako smiled. Nice to meet you. If you're done chatting and making friends, please get inside. You're wasting time. Everyone looked towards the voice behind Sasuke and saw some homeless-looking guy lying down on the floor. He looks like a caterpillar. Naruto tried not to chuckle.
You're a teacher here? Sasuke asked. That's right. I'm your hometown teacher, Shota Aizawa. The man introduced himself as he got up. Not impressed. Sasuke looked him up and down.
Izuku gaped at what he heard. It's true he might not look it, but he's still a pro. I'm surprised a student would actually talk to a pro like that. Mr. Aizawa stared at Sasuke before he smiled softly. Hey, at least you're honest. Let's hope you impress me. Anyway, put these on. He threw some clothes at Sasuke. What the fuck is this ugly shit? What the hell am I supposed to change into? I don't want to be inside a locker for an unknown amount of time.
As if sending his distress, Sasuke looked down at his tie and took it off before they made it to the changing rooms and threw him in the trash bin.
Asshole, he could have waited for everyone to leave and set me down outside of a locker. Naruto grumbled in annoyance as he dispelled his transformation. And now I reek. I guess I'll have to take a shower. It's a good thing I brought my villain stuff. Naruto, shut the hell up. You're annoying me, I can't sleep. Sorry, Kurama. I'm gonna go spy on the kids, I don't care. Grumpy Pants. Why did I even bother? Obviously Sasuke would be finishing first on everything, but I thought that kid would be doing better. Naruto looked down from the building he was on top of and saw All Might hiding. What are you doing, buff man? Gah. What the, it's you, how'd you get here? Relax big man. He tapped his shoulder, I'm not here to do anything, just checking out future heroes. Scoping out the competition, you know. How can I be sure you're not here to do anything? All Might tensed. Because I would have already done something if that was my intention. It wouldn't be smart to start something in a school full of heroes and hero wannabes. How'd you get in? All Might asked again. Wouldn't matter if I told you. You could improve security as much as you want and I would still get in. Really? Oh yeah. I might even let myself be caught and be thrown in Tartarus just to get out. You have any idea how popular that would make me? Naruto laughed. This kid, he's actually serious. Oh wow. You see your kids throw? That was pretty impressive. Very smart of him to only use one finger. Unfortunate that he's done so bad in everything else and probably in whatever is left to do. You do know I had to take you in for breaking in here, right? Ha. Do you actually think you'll be able to do that? You're welcome to try if you want to make this public knowledge. I can already see the headlines. Naruto held up his fingers in dramatic fashion. Unknown villain breaks into Japan's best hero academy. Wouldn't that be nice? It would certainly give me good exposure. Perhaps you're forgetting I'm the #1 hero? Of course not, but I wouldn't go down without a fight. And we're also in a school with a bunch of students that could be easily be turned into hostages. I wouldn't let you move from this spot. All Might looked at him seriously. Naruto looked up at the man. Are you really sure about that? All Might didn't need to see it. He could feel the boy's mischievous grin start to grow behind his mask. Ha ha ha. Looks like I left you a bit speechless there, didn't I? I'm getting the hang of this villain thing pretty nicely, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't. I don't want to encourage you. Damn, but it's your job to encourage others. Well yeah. But not to be a villain. I suppose you got a point. Naruto noticed Aizawa making his way towards their position. Anyway, I gotta go. See you later, ta-ta. Naruto gave him a small wave before vanishing. So he wasn't lying about being able to get away. Who were you talking to? Aizawa looked around. We need to go have a chat with the principal. All Might said seriously, intriguing Aizawa. Hey, Sasuke. How was school, dearie? Naruto asked as Sasuke made his way outside. Shut the hell up. Ah, don't be like that. Are you hungry? I can get you some snacks. Stop treating me like a little kid, Sasuke growled. You're lucky that's all I'm doing considering you threw me in the trash. Sasuke smiled. Sorry, bastard, Dobi. Anyway, I had a nice chat with All Might. Wanna hear it? No, come on. A small distance away. That's the guy that scored first on every test, right? Izuku asked. Indeed. Quite amazing, it didn't even look like he broke a sweat, Tenya added. I actually don't think he did. Sasuke Uchiha, he's cute, his friend too, Ochako muttered. Oh, you think they're good looking? Well, they're not the only ones? Really? Izuku laughed nervously. I mean well. Tenya shook his head and sighed. I am here, All Might proclaimed as he entered the classroom like a hero. All Might, maybe I could get to fight him later, Sasuke thought. This has been the only interesting part of the day. While everyone else was busy fanboying over All Might and his appearance, Sasuke took his time to analyze the hero. He's a pretty big guy, maybe around the Raikage's height. I wonder if Susanoo could withstand a punch from him. His costume is pretty ridiculous and it's clearly made to draw attention. He rolled his eyes from the very back of the classroom and tuned out the man. He had decided to sit right behind Momo so that he would not be bothered by anyone else. Young man? Sasuke looked up and noticed everyone was gone. Are you not going to put on your costume? Everyone else has already left to do so. All Might told him, his everlasting smile plastered on his face. It pissed him off. I already have my costume on, Sasuke simply said as he stood up. You mean that cloak? All Might looked him up and down. That's right. Something wrong with that? Sasuke glared at the number one hero. Oh, of course not, but it's your first costume, don't you want something more? Listen, hero. Not all of us want to stand out by wearing something colorful like orange that screams, please kill me, okay? Orange? Never mind that. Let's get going. Sasuke grumbled and made his way out of the classroom. It's like he doesn't want to be here, All Might frowned. Maybe I should start a conversation. It would be good to get to know one of my students better. All Might cleared his throat, and Sasuke stopped tapping his foot impatiently. So, young man, why do you want to be a hero? I made a bet with a friend, Sasuke told him. A bet? All Might looked interested. What is it? He said that I wouldn't become the number one hero, so I'm here to prove him wrong. Really? All Might blinked in surprise. Sasuke looked up at him with a glare. What? You don't think I can do it? No, I didn't mean that. I just wasn't expecting that, and you're confident you can do it. Sasuke merely smirked at him, which made the hero smile. It wasn't until a few minutes later that everyone else arrived with their costumes. Some interesting things. Sasuke looked at the smallest kid in the class, Minoru. What the fuck does this kid even do? He looks like a grape. Next, he turned his attention to the girl that he sat behind, Momo. She's very underdressed. It makes me wonder what her quirk is. Anyway, since this year we have an extra student, I was thinking of making 7 squads of 3 students. Sasuke groaned at that, and everyone turned to him. Something the matter, young Sasuke? I know this is your class and whatever, but I don't exactly like working with others. Oh yeah? You think you're better than us? You emo? Katsuki's head burst into flames. Sasuke smirked. Did you forget who got first in Aizawa's tests? Where did you place 4th? Why you? That's enough, both of you. All Might placed himself in between the 2 young men. What do you suggest then, young Sasuke? Put me up against 4 people. You mean you vs 4 others? All Might looked shocked. I don't think I stuttered. If that's what you want. Anyone specifically? I don't know if he'll pull it off or if he's just cocky, but this'll be a good way to figure it out. Shoto. Shoto looked over in interest. Momo. Said girl tensed slightly before straightening up. Katsuki. Hey, I'd be glad to show you your place. Katsuki punched his fists together, a mad grin on his face. Lastly, Izuku. Me? Are you sure? Izuku shifted uncomfortably. That nerd? He got second last, he's a nobody. I'm sure, Sasuke said, ignoring Katsuki. What will you choose, young Sasuke? Will you be the hero or villain in this scenario? It would be best to play the hero since that's what I'm aiming to be, but I want to have some fun. Sasuke grinned. I'll play the villain. All right. 4 heroes versus a single villain. The villain has 5 minutes to prepare before the heroes are sent out to stop him. Sasuke made his way over to his opponents. I almost forgot to put this on. He smiled as he put on a mask resembling a weasel with a red, triangular marking on top. The mask is kind of ominous, and you can't see his eyes, Izuku noted. I wish you all luck. Sasuke went up to each of them and shook their hands, except for Katsuki, who refused. I'm curious if his eyes are part of his quirk. You noticed too? Momo asked. Huh? What the hell are you two talking about? Sasuke put on his mask just before entering the building. He also took the time to shake our hands. Now I don't know about you, but I don't think he's that type of guy, Izuku told them. Exactly what I thought. Momo nodded in agreement. I couldn't see his eyes, but I could feel them staring into mine. You're afraid that he did something with a mere look of his eyes? Like Mr. Aizawa? Izuku nodded. It makes me wonder what exactly though, I don't feel any different than before. So what if he did something? Who gives a crap? We gotta go in and show that bastard that he's not better and teach him to never look down on us again. Katsuki growled as he marched into the building. Let's get going. Let me handle this. Shoto stopped him before he entered. I'll freeze the entire building. Once we find him, you can do as you please. Tisk, whatever. Izuku looked on in awe as the entire building was covered in ice with a touch of Shoto's hand. Amazing. With Sasuke. Sasuke looked around to see everything was covered in ice, save for the spot below his feet, so he really thought he could stop me with mere ice? Tisk. I'll show him. He cracked his knuckles. Let's get started. I do wonder what Naruto is doing though. With Naruto, how the hell did I get myself into this?